Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at mixed numbers and improper fractions again, extending understanding of fractions to improper fractions and mixed numbers. And today we're going to look at comparing fractions and the process. So, what we're going to do, all right, is we're going to start out with something easy. We're going to go 2 over 3 and 1 over 3. Okay, so when you're comparing fractions, all right, the big thing is you need to look at, is the denominator the same? So here we have 3 is the same, okay? And on the top, we see 2 and 1, okay? So in this case, we know 2 is bigger than 1, so 2 over 3 is bigger than 1 over 3. So that's an example of a comparison of a fraction, right? So we can do it either greater than, or an equal sign, all right? Let's go with something a bit tougher now. Let's do an improper fraction, but with the same denominator. Let's go 11 over 4 and 7 over 4. Okay, so remember, an improper fraction has a larger numerator than a denominator, all right? So here, okay, we have 11 over 4 and 7 over 4. So what I have to ask myself is the denominator the same, which is 4? In this case, it is. All right, so now what we need to do is look, is 11 bigger or 7 bigger? So if 11 is bigger, Pac-Man always eats the larger number. Okay, just like that, all right? And we can see that 11 over 4 is greater than 7 over 4. Okay, so this is when we have a common denominator, all right? Let's do one more with mixed number instead. Let's go 2 and 1/2, okay? And 1 and 1/2, all right? So here, there's a few things we have to look differently than we do with our improper fractions and normal fractions here, okay? We have our mixed numbers. So there's a couple ways of doing this, okay? We could either look at our two fractions here, okay, and see that there's two wholes here and only one whole here, so it's going to be greater than, okay? Another way of doing this is to convert this into an improper fraction, okay? So we have 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2, okay? Over here we have 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. So now, just like this process over here, okay, we are going to look at our denominator. It's 2. It's the same on both, all right? So we look and 5 is bigger than 3. So Pac-Man eats the 5, okay? So these are all examples with a like denominator. So now what we're going to do is look at fractions, okay? And we're going to look at an improper, or let's do a normal fraction first, okay, with two different denominators though. So let's go 2 over 3 and 3 over 4. Okay, so to compare these, all right, our first step is we need to see that the denominator is not the same. So we can't compare this yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list 3 and 4 on the bottom here. Okay, now what the process is, okay, is we have to find a common multiple, a least common multiple, LCM, okay, and that's the beauty of doing these units is they coincide together. Okay, so now we're going to find the multiples. We're going to go 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, let's go to 12. 4, 8, 12. As we can see, okay, our common denominator is going to be 12. Okay, now we can look at our multiples and we can go, okay, well, I did 4 times 3 to get to 12, okay? So we did 4, we have 1, 2, 3, so that's times 3, okay? Now the rules in making equivalent fractions with like denominators, like this, okay, is we need to do the same on the top of the same fraction, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go 3 times 3. Okay, 3 times 3 we know is 9. So that one's done with, okay? Now we got to look at the 3 here. Okay, we go 3, 6, 9, and 12. So we're going to go 3 times 4. Okay, well now we have to do the exact same up top. So we're going to go 2 times 4, okay, and we're going to get 8. So now, looking back in our lesson here, okay, we have like denominators, all right? And now we have to ask, is 9 or 8 bigger? 9 is bigger in this case. So my greater than fraction, okay, Pac-Man eats the 9, all right? Okay, let's try another one here, all right? So let's go with a couple different numbers. Let's go 3 over 5, okay, and 6 over 10. So as we can see, all right, these are two different fractions completely, but we can find a common multiple between them. So on the bottom of the list, 5, 10, and 10 are my multiples. My LCM in this case, my least common multiple, is 10. We go like that, okay? Now we're going to write equals next to it, okay? And now we're going to write this first one out, okay? We go 10 times 1 and 6 times 1. Okay, so nothing changes with this fraction here, all right? Because we have 10 as our denominator already, so we don't have to do anything up top. 6 times 1 is 6, okay? The second one, though, all right, we have to figure out what multiplies to get to 10 with 5. Okay, well, we have 1, 2. So we're going to go 5 times 2. Now, the rule is you do the exact same on the top fraction. So I'm going to go 3 times 2. Okay, and I'm going to get 6 over 10. Wow, crazy, right? We always have greater than, or equals as our comparison. So here, okay, we have 10 as our like denominators, right? And then the crazy thing is here we have 6 and 6. So our answer is going to be equals here. Okay, so a pretty interesting example there. So we can also do this, all right, with improper fractions as well. So let's take 7 over 2, okay, and let's take 5 over 4, all right? Okay, so this one should be fairly easy, but first what we have to do is we need to see that there is no common multiple or is no common denominator right now, okay, when we compare these fractions. So I'm going to list 2, 4 down here, and 4. Okay, my least common multiple is 4 here. Okay, so I'm going to write over 4 and over 4. Now, we know that another common multiple of this could be 8, right? However, it's not our least common multiple, so we're just going to scribble it out. So now we're going to go back to here. Okay, we're going to go 4 times 1 and 5 times 1. The reason why is nothing changes on this fraction. But this second one, okay, we have to figure out what multiplies with 2 to get to 4. So it's 2 times 2 is 4. So the rule is in fractions, if you want to compare, okay, and you want to find an equivalent fraction, is you do the same up top. So I'm going to go 7 times 2. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. Okay, here is a very easy example of knowing which one is bigger. We have our like denominators, okay, and then we have 14, which is greater than, okay, our 5, all right? And when you write it out, you just have to write the triangle, but I'm having Pac-Man eat 4 right now, or 14, sorry. Okay, another thing that we can do, all right, is compare a mixed number and an improper fraction, all right? So let's take, let's go with 5 over 4, okay, and 2 and 1/8, okay. So this one's a bit trickier, all right. What you can do is there's two strategies here. I'm going to show you how to convert into improper fraction first and then do it, and you can also do mixed number, but it's a bit more challenging, okay. So here what we're going to do first is we have our improper fraction array, so I'm going to write 5 over 4 over here. And now what I need to do is looking at this mixed number, okay, so I have to go 2 times 8, remember how we convert, we get 16 plus 1 is 17 over 8, okay, pretty easy step, all right. Now what we need to do is we need to find a common denominator between 4 and 8, okay, well, 4, 8, and we have 8, all right. So here we have to do absolutely nothing, all right. Okay, here what we have to do though is we have to find out what multiplies with 4 to get to 8. Well, it's 4 times 2. So you do the exact same up top, and you're going to get 10 over 8 and 17 over 8. Okay, so my improper fraction here, all right, what we have to look at is we have our common denominator, so we look at the bigger number. Okay, well, the bigger number is obviously 17, all right, so 17 over 8 is bigger than 10 over 8. So when we go back to this equation, 2 and 1 over 8 is bigger than 5 over 4. So I've always been one to like converting into improper fractions, but you can do it the mixed number way as well. So what I'm going to show you guys is, okay, we have 2 and 1 over 8 again, okay, and we have 5 over 4. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 2 and 1 over 8 because it's in mixed number already. Now what I need to do is convert this one into a mixed number. So remember our little strategy over here? We got 4 goes into 5 one time. Okay, we get 1 as our remainder. All right. So here we go 1 right here. Okay, and we get 1 over 4. Okay, 1 over 4. Okay, this is our denominator, this is our whole, and this is our numerator. Okay. All right, now, like before, what we have to do, though, is find a common multiple between 4 and 8. So I'm going to list them up here. 4 and 8 and 8. Okay, so we know it's 8. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting a bit messy here. We have 2 and 1 over 8. Okay, so we don't have to do anything with that fraction. But this one, okay, we don't touch the whole here. Okay, we leave it. But here we have to do 4 times 2 because it's going to equal 8. Okay, so we're going to get 1 and over 8 here. And then we have to do multiply by 2 here. So this becomes 1 and 2 over 8. Okay, well now, looking at these two numbers, okay, we should be able to tell that because this has 2 wholes and this has 1, that this is bigger than 1 and 2 over 8. Okay, we're going to do one more example together, all right, with 3 numbers this time. So we're going to go 3 over 6, 5 over 4, and we'll go 1 and 1/12. Okay, so pretty tough. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to convert these into improper fractions first, or just normal fractions. So we have 3 over 6 is normal, 5 over 4, okay, and then this one I'm going to go 1 times 12 is 12 plus 1 is 13 over 12. All right, now what I'm going to do is on the bottom here, I'm going to write 6, 4, and 12, okay, and I'm going to list common multiples. So I'm going to go 6, 12 here, 4, 8, 12. What do you guys notice? 12 is our common denominator, all right? So I'm going to write over here, we got over 12, and over 12, okay? So now what we need to do is, looking back at these fractions here, okay, we need to say which one, or how to get 12 as our denominator. So what do we have to do on both sides, right? So this one stays the exact same, okay, because we have over 12 already. 4, what we need to do is find something that multiplies with 4 to get to 12. Well, it's 4 times 3, okay? So now we're going to do 5 times 3 is 15 over 12, okay? Next, we're going to go 6 times, as we can see, 1, 2, okay? So 6 times 2 is 12, okay? So now we do the same up top. 3 times 2, and we're going to get 6 over 12. So looking at these, okay, we can make an assumption that 6, okay, over 12, okay, is smaller than, okay, 13 over 12, but 15 over 12 is greater than 13 over 12. Okay, this would also be, okay, an example of on a question you might have to say least to greatest. Okay, we have 6 over 12 is the least, the greatest is 15 over 12. You could also say greatest to least, and it'd be 15 over 12, 13 over 12, and then 6 over 12. So you can really find out, you can compare fractions basically by finding out the common denominator between all 3 of the numbers. You got to keep that in mind. And in your assignment, you will have times where you have to find 3 numbers. There will be times when you have to find and compare just 2. There will be times when you have to convert from improper into mixed number, or you might just have to compare 2 fractions based on the denominator. That's all I have for you guys today. You're going to be doing the worksheet that Miss Debcare gives you and myself, okay? And if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great night, guys, and see you later.